esque inventions throughout this little. I think I'd make it 4-part miniseries of then each issue they'd come up with something different to fight Godzilla, and it would just kind of miserably fail. I'd be like, back to the drawing board. So something like that. That's what I would do. That's the kind of direction I would do with Mars Attacks Godzilla, at least. And again, this is another possibility because it's IDW, and they haven't done any crossover with Godzilla. I'm surprised by that. I really am that they haven't done anything yet. Maybe they're just kind of cooking something up or looking for something. But yeah. Anywho, number 4. Now, number 4 is, again, like I said, is another IDW, and this is Mars Attacks Star Trek. Now, which Star Trek am I talking about? I would really love the original series, you know, Kirk era, not Abrams universe, but, you know, William Shatner era Star Trek to go head-to-head with Mars Attacks, and I think it would just be great, because it would be like, there are actually Martians on Mars. There are actually Martians, Mr. Spock? It's illogical, I know, Captain, but it's true. And again, I think it would be fun to poke fun at the Star Trek universe of itself, especially that era, and have fun with it, like, have Kirk get into a fist fight with one of the Martians, and for those who remember the movie, there was this spy robot that they use, this spy Martian that they use, this female spy Martian. I think it'd be great to see her seduce Kirk, and just be kind of weirded out when he finds out that it's a Martian the whole time, and just be like, I don't want to talk about it. And Spock giving him shit the whole time. I think that would just be great. But yeah, I think it would just be a lot of fun, because I think that would work the most. I think Next Generation is a little too serious, but however, I think, again, I really like the original series, and it's fun to mix that campiness with it, and Mars Attacks is known for its, you know, it's campy in itself, so I think that it just kind of really works in that aspect the most. Anywho, so there's that. Now moving on to my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick is Mars Attacks Doctor Who. You guys kind of saw this coming, didn't you? Mars Attacks Doctor Who. Now, Mars Attacks Doctor Who, how I would put it, now you're probably wondering, well, which Doctor? Matt Smith, right? I'd actually pick Tom Baker for this crossover, because he has that level of campiness and fun. And when you think about the Martians, they would look like Tom Baker-era villains. They look like classic Doctor Who villains. I mean, they have those same kind of weird suits. But you're probably wondering, well, what about... And also, another thing. I would bring in... If I could do that Mars Attacks, you know, Doctor Who, I would actually bring in the Ice Warriors as well, because for those who don't know, the Ice Warriors are native Martians. So I think it would just be great to see the Martians be like... I think what I would do is, like, the Martians are experimenting with, you know, time and space technology, and they just get warped into another, you know, the Doctor Who universe, and you know, they try to go back to Mars, and they find the Ice Warriors. And they're like, what the fuck? And the Martians and Ice Warriors would be fighting it out to, you know, own Mars, and the Doctor would be caught in the middle. And I think, again, it would just be kind of fun, because Tom Baker, you know, he has that level of campiness and fun to it in his episodes, but he can also do serious stuff. But I think this would be kind of another little fun 4-part miniseries of, you know, the Martians trying to get into the TARDIS, and then trying to figure out how it works. I think that would just be fun, but it would mostly, like I said, I would mostly have a lot of fun with the Martians battling it out with the Ice Warriors. So, I would definitely do something like that, and I bet in the Doctor would be like, oh, you guys are just ugly, and I would definitely have Sarah Jane in here as well as companion, for those who are wondering. I'd even have... maybe K9? I don't know. It's a possibility. Who knows? But yeah, in that regard, Mars Attacks Doctor Who, maybe have, you know, it would be fun to see, like, Matt Smith era Doctor play around with them, but I think it would just be a lot more fun with, and it would make I think it would be a lot more fun if it was Tom Baker era, or I think it'd be even fun with any of the classic Doctors. I think these guys would really work as, like, John Pertwee villains as well, now that I think about it, so who knows? It'd just be fun all around. But, anywho, now, my number 2 pick is from Dynamite. And it's Mars Attacks Army of Darkness. Yes, Mars Attacks Army of Darkness. I think it would be a load of fun for Ash to go head-to-head with the Martians. I think it would just be great, hilarious dialogue. Because the Army of Darkness, tongue-tied, Mars Attacks is like a little horror it's mostly comedy. It is a comedy, while we have Army of Darkness, which is a horror comedy. And I think it would just be great because I think it would be great for the Martians to be like, their whole goal is to find the Necronomicon. They find, they hear, they found ancient stories of it on Mars, and they want to find, they would be like, well, go bring this all-powerful book back, and we'll take over the world with it. It'll be total. And I know, yeah, that sounds kind of stupid, but I think it would be. It's Mars Attacks. You can do anything with it, and it would be kind of plausibly funny. So, the Martians would go down to Earth, and Ash is in their way to get the Necronomicon. And I think it would just be great to see Deadite-possessed Martians. I think that'd be great. And Ash has not, to my knowledge, Ash has not fought any aliens in the... He's mostly fought, demons and Deadites and ghosts and such in his Army of Darkness comics. So I don't think he's fought Martians yet. But I think it would just be a lot of fun to see him finally see Martians and be like, what the hell? Again, I know I'm using the bewilderment stuff a lot, but the Martians, when you look at them, they've got these weird little spacesuits, helmets, and ugly-ass faces, and that would be the majority of, these other characters' reactions, where they'd be like, the hell is that? And I think Ash would just have a lot of fun calling it, like, Brain Boy, or some other kind of lame, cheesy, some kind of other weird, lame, cheesy dialogue with them. I think that would be loads of fun. And then just he'd be just knocking out all these weird names and just fighting these Martians who have cannons, lasers, and giant robot suits with the classic boomstick and chainsaw and just his own wits. I think that'd just be great. And even I'd love to have this scene in here if I could write this and have it where he takes over one of the Martian mech suits and just be like, "Oh yeah, this is great," and just start pummeling all the Martians. I think that would just be loads of fun. And it'd actually be fun to quote the movie in that, the Mars Attacks movie through Ash's dialogue. Like, give his own mixture of it, like, can't we all just live in peace, baby? Something like that. Remix the lines together. Like I said, something along those lines. So, Mars Attacks Army of Darkness would just be loads of fun. But anyway... Now on to my number one pick. We're back to IDW, but this is actually a multitude of comics, believe it or not. This is actually a multitude of comics that, excuse me, that would really work as like a kind of an event, not really event thing, but what they did with Mars Attacks IDW, and that is Mars Attacks Cartoon Network. Now, hang on. Now, for those who don't know, IDW earlier this year acquired the rights to do a lot of the 90s Cartoon Network comics. They're allowed to do now Ed, Edd n Eddy, Johnny Bravo, Samurai Jack, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Powerpuff Girls, Cow and Chicken, I believe, as well. But yeah, they can do all the 90s Cartoon Network stuff. They can't do the current, but they can do the 90s stuff. The stuff people really give a crap about. So I would actually make that an event, Mars Attacks Cartoon Network. That would be so fun. Like, it would actually be a one-shot series, like the Mars Attacks IDW. Like, could you imagine Mars Attacks Courage the Cowardly Dog? That name alone, you have my money, ladies and gentlemen. You have my money of... Because that would actually be the first one they would do, Mars Attacks Courage the Cowardly Dog. That would be just great. Mars Attacks Ed, Edd n Eddy would be loads of fun, like them actually fighting aliens and be like, holy crap, these things are real. And I would actually reference the show a lot with it. Mars Attacks Fosters, it would be something along the lines of, I would like make it like the Martians, everyone thinks they're imaginary friends. They're just kind of trying to the Martians are trying to do like a secret invasion thing where they're trying to pass themselves off as imaginary friends, but when that fails, the Martians and imaginary friends just duke it out. Johnny Bravo, I think it would be again with Captain Kirk and Ash, like I forgot to mention, is have him hit on the Martian spy woman, and he inadvertently saves the world from a Martian invasion. So that would be something of very Johnny Bravo centric stuff. Mars Attacks Powerpuff Girls would be a straight up, the Martians are invading the city of Townsville and the girls are whipping some ass. Mars Attacks Dexter's Lab. They're trying, they find out about Dexter's laboratory. They want his technology, and Dexter, along with Dee Dee, and I'd even have Mandark team up with him and be like, "Oh hell no, you ain't getting this." With Cow and Chicken, you have Super Cow beat the crap out of them with her udders. This works, people. This, you have my money, and this works on so many. This would make so much sense for the, you know, for IDW. Someone from IDW. I hope you're listening. I will write, if you will allow me, I will write every issue of Mars Attacks Cartoon Network and make it at least each a one-shot, and just have nothing. You don't have to pay me, IDW. You wouldn't have to pay me. I would just write this all for free. Boom. Yeah, people, but that's how excited I am for, like, can you just, like, I haven't even listed off, like, the other ones, like Mars Attacks Samurai Jack and Mars Attacks so many other stuff, man. They've got all the rights to the other stuff, so could you imagine, like, the other stuff, like Codename Kids Next Door and all these other ones? So, yeah, it's an event. Mars Attacks Cartoon Network is an event of it itself. So this is also one that's very plausible, because IDW is known for this kind of insanity. So, hell, they had Mars Attacks Kiss. This is Mars Attacks Popeye. This is a possibility, people. So, yeah. Anyway, guys, that's my list in a nutshell. So, I really hope you guys enjoyed this. And again, this is just my personal list. This is how I view it. And if you guys have Mars Attacks ideas for who the Martians should go head-to-head with hilarity ensued, you guys let me know. You know, post a video response or something like that. And again, this is just my personal opinion. You know, my list is maybe different from yours. You know, I may have had properties on here for the Martians to go head-to-head with that's different. But yeah, all in all, hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm out.